Hello children, I am Ravi Verma and in this video I am going to start the chapter number 5, that is coal and petroleum, from the NCERT textbook of science for class 8th. So dear children, in this chapter we are going to discuss about two important natural resources. One is coal and the other is petroleum. So first of all, let's understand what is the meaning of natural resources. Thereafter we will start this chapter. Okay, so as I said that coal and petroleum are natural resources. So what is the meaning of natural resources? So dear students, natural resources are those important and useful things which are obtained from nature. Okay, for example, in activity number 5.1 we are going to list the things which are obtained from nature and the things which are made by man and which are useful for us. Okay, so in the first column we'll put some natural things like air, water, soil, forests. These things are obtained from nature and they are very important for us. So these are natural resources. They are natural resources, but there are many things which are made by man. For example, you can put pen, right? Different machines, vehicles, medicines, especially the synthetic medicines, right? But some medicines are obtained from nature also. Okay, so in this way, what are natural resources? Resources are the things which are obtained from nature and which are very useful for us. So there are, dear students, two types of natural resources. One are inexhaustible and the other are exhaustible natural resources. What are inexhaustible? Those who never end, means those who are present in unlimited quantity in nature. Such natural resources which are present in unlimited amount in nature are called inexhaustible natural resources. Okay, for example, sunlight and air, these are present in a very large amount, almost unlimited amount. So that's why these are inexhaustible, because they will never come to an end. They will not finish, they will not exhaust. Okay, on the other hand, exhaustible natural resources are present in nature in a limited amount. Okay, so the amount of exhaustible natural resources is limited in nature. For example, if we talk about forests, they are limited. Okay, wildlife, they are limited. Minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, these all are exhaustible because they are present in a limited amount. So for example, if we talk about forests, then if you keep on cutting the forests, one day will come when there will be no forests left, and that will means disturb the ecosystem of our earth. Okay, so once we have discussed what are exhaustible and what are inexhaustible natural resources, let us perform, let us discuss one more activity. So this activity is for understanding that why we should conserve the natural resources which are exhaustible. We should conserve them, means we should use lesser amount of exhaustible natural resources and we should not waste them. So what is the activity, dear students? The activity is that we will take a few containers like container 1, container 2, container 3, and suppose in first container we put popcorn, right? In the second container we put peanuts. Okay, and in the third container we put toffees. Okay, now we will make three groups of students, each containing 7 students, and each group will be subdivided into 3 groups. The first group will contain 1 student, the second group will contain 2 students, and the third group will contain 4 students. So 1 plus 2 plus 4, total 7 students are there. So each group of 7 students is divided into three subgroups: first group, second group, and third group. In the same way, this group will also be divided into 1, 2 and 4, means groups of 1 student, 2 student and 4 students. Again, this group also will be divided into group 1, right? First group containing 1 student, second group containing 2 student, and the third group containing 4 students. Okay, so dear students, you know that there is a limited amount of popcorn popcorns in the first box. There is limited amount of peanuts in the second box, and limited amount of toffees in the third box. Now this box will be given to this student of the first group and will be allowed to take whatever amount of popcorn does it eat. In the same way, this box will be given to this one and this box will be given to this one. So suppose this is the first generation of consumers. Okay, this is the first generation of consumers. So you will see that this one individual will be having a large amount of popcorns or peanuts or toffees in his respective box. Okay, so whatever he desires, whatever amount he desires, he will eat. Now what we should do, that we should ask this first generation student to transfer the box to the second generation after he has taken the desired amount of products present in the box. Now the amount of popcorn will be less, but number of consumers has increased in the second generation. In the same way, if something is left after the two students have taken the items like popcorn or peanuts, right, the remaining items will be transferred to the third group, means the third generation of the consumers. So you will see that as the limited amount of resource, these are the limited amount of resources, as these will be consumed by first generation, second generation and third generation. You know that the population is increasing, 1, 2 and 3, from first generation to second generation to third generation, the population is increasing, but the amount of resource, the amount of useful thing that is exhaustible is decreasing. You will see finally that hardly the 4 students will be able to find any toffee or any popcorn in the box. Maybe that only one of the 4 will be able to find any remaining popcorns or toffees in his box. Okay, so from this activity we should understand this is the case with the natural resources which are exhaustible, means they have a very limited amount, they have a limited amount in nature, just like popcorns in a box, right? And when first generation, second generation, third generations, the population is increasing and the amount of exhaustible natural resources is decreasing. So one day will come that our future generations will not be there, there will be no natural resources available to some future generation. Okay, so this might happen that the natural resources will be exhausted and our future generation is not able to find any of them left. Okay, so dear students, let us talk about the first very important natural resource that we have to discuss in this chapter, that is coal. So dear students, what is coal? The coal is actually a very hard and stone like substance which is black in color, and coal is one of the fossil fuels used to cook food. Now let's understand the term what is fossil. Dear students, the dead remains of plants and animals are called fossils, which are generally discovered by digging the land. Okay, so the dead remains of plants and animals are called fossils, and you know that coal is formed from the dead remains of trees present in the ancient forests. Okay, so this is why coal is called a fossil fuel. So coal is called a fossil fuel. Coal is a fuel, and because it is made up of fossil, means the dead plants, and this is why the coal is called fossil fuel. So what are fossil fuels? The fossil fuels are those fuels which are actually produced from dead and old remains of plants and animals. So petrol, diesel, wax, kerosene, coal, these all are fossil fuels. Okay, so earlier it was used in railway engines. The coal, what is the use of coal? Let's understand. So the coal is used for cooking of food in domestic purposes as well as in restaurants, commercial purposes also. And previously the railway engines used to run by the help of coal. The coal was burnt in the engines to produce steam, okay, by boiling water. And nowadays the most extensive use of coal is done is thermal power plants where electricity is generated. The coal is also used in industries. Okay, now story of coal. This trains how was the coal formed. So what happened around 300 million years ago? Our Earth surface contained or cover was covered by extensive forests. Okay, in low-lying wetland areas. Okay, so actually the surface of Earth had a very dense forest, and gradually because of some natural phenomena like flooding, the forest got covered by soil, they got buried under the soil, right? And gradually the amount of soil and rocks above them increased, and because of this the pressure and temperature increased. So with time there became a tremendously high pressure and high temperature. Because of high pressure and high temperature, right, these dead forests got converted into coal, and this process took millions of years. And this slow process of conversion of dead vegetation or dead forest into coal is called carbonization. Why? Because coal is mainly carbon. So most of the portion of is coal is carbon, right? Most of the portion of coal is carbon. This is why this process of formation of coal from dead vegetation is called carbonization. So dear students, once again I would like to tell you that carbonization is a very long process, a very slow process in which the dead plant remains because of high tremendous pressure and temperature, they converted into coal. Okay, so this was how the coal was formed. Okay, now dear students, there is a process in which coal coal is used to produce three different products. These are coke, coal tar, and coal gas. So the name of the process is destructive distillation of coal. Destructive distillation of coal. So we take coal in a closed container or in a closed test tube if we are doing this in laboratory, but industrially it is done in closed container where there is almost no oxygen, there is no air, right? And the coke is heated up to 1000 degrees Celsius temperature, at a very high temperature, and then the coal is converted into three different substances. One is coke, which is a solid, and another is coal tar, which is a liquid, and then coal gas, which is a gas. So what is coke? So coke is a very tough, porous and black substance, and it is almost pure form of carbon. And there are two uses of coal. One is in manufacture of steel and the other is in extraction of metal. So dear students, we obtain three important products from coal. One is coke, the other is coal tar, and the other is coal gas. Coke is a thick and is a very strong, hard, solid, means substance, black substance, and it is almost pure form of carbon, means more than 90-95%, even more than this is the concentration of carbon in coal and coke. And coke is used for manufacture of steel, right? and it is used for extraction of metals. What is the extraction of metal? It is a process in which the metal is obtained from the ore or the soil obtained from the mines of the metals. Actually, you know that the metals are obtained from mines generally. Suppose that there is gold mine, so there is no gold, but actually the gold is present in soil, in the form of soil, in the form of rocks, right? These rocks or soils are called ores, and from them we obtain metal, we extract metal. This is called extraction of metal, or in scientific language we also call it metallurgy. Okay. Now, what is coal tar? It is a black and thick liquid, and it is importantly a mixture of 200 substances, and these 200 substances are separated from each other. They are obtained in pure form. So from coal tar we obtain around 200 different types of substances, and these substances are used for making very important everyday life objects, like for example we make synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, and roofing materials. So these are materials are prepared by using coal tar. Okay. And most importantly, you might have seen the mothballs which are made up of naphthalene, so they are called naphthalene balls. These are white, no, white balls, right? And they are put generally into the big suitcases or big boxes where you keep your clothes, right? And sometimes they are also put in toilets. Okay, so these are naphthalene balls. So even naphthalene is obtained from coal tar. Okay, now nowadays a product a product that is called bitumen, which is obtained by refining of the petroleum. So the bitumen which is obtained from petroleum is used for metalling of roads. Okay. But previously coal tar was used for metalling or surfacing of the roads. So generally coal tar was used for surfacing of the roads, but you know that coal tar is very important and we can obtain a large number of products from coal tar. So that's why nowadays bitumen is used for this purpose. Now comes the coal gas. Let's understand what is coal gas. So during the destructive distillation of coal, a gas is obtained that is called coal gas, and it is used for, generally the coal gas is used for obtaining heat. So it is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. So wherever there is a coal processing plant, coal gas is produced and that is supplied to the nearby industries. Okay, where it is used as a fuel. So dear students, look, a very interesting fact is written here, that coal gas was used for street lighting first of all in London in 1810, right? But and later in New York. So first of all, the coal gas was used for producing light in streets in London and New York, but now it is used as a source of heat. It is used as a source of heat, not as a source of light, because it produces more heat as compared to the light produced by it. Okay, so dear students, this is all about coal. So what we know, that coal is a fossil fuel. It is a black colored solid. Okay, and it was formed by dead remains of forest or trees. Okay, and it was formed by the process of carbonization, and we obtain three important products from coal. One is coke, other is coal tar, and the other is coal gas. Okay, so coke is a solid and used for preparing making steel and extraction of metals, right? Coal tar is used for making a large number of products, and coal gas is used as a source of heat, and rarely as a source of light. Okay, especially coal gas is used in industries which are situated nearby the coal processing plants. So dear students, this was all about this video, right? In the second part of this chapter we are going to discuss about another natural resource, that is petroleum. Thank you for watching this video.